Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is another yin yoga practice focusing on the neck and shoulders in 4 ways. If you happen to have a couple of yoga bricks, please grab them to hand. If not, maybe a couple of cushions would be a good alternative. We're going to start seated. Head there when you're ready, a nice comfortable shape, and we'll make a start. Starting here in a comfortable seated position, just let the hands rest down on the legs and maybe close the eyes, and we'll just enjoy a few breaths to gather ourselves and arrive into our practice. Sit up nice and tall, the belly button draws in towards the spine. Feel the shoulders drop back and down. Taking a nice deep breath in and exhale. Do this as many times as you need before breathing nice and smooth just through your nose. An opportunity here at the top of your practice to check in with your physical body, muscles and joints, and to check in with your energetic body. How do you feel today? Tired? Maybe a little bit dull? That's okay. Perhaps also your emotional or spiritual body. Check in with those as well. Is it a little busy in your mind? Just letting the breath calm and relax you. Slowly start to flutter the eyes open. You can choose to leave them closed if you would like. Bring the hands off the legs and move them to the mat either side of your body, fingertips to the floor. Start to gently drop the right ear over to the right shoulder. From here, you might creep your left hand a little further away just to increase the distance between the fingers and the head. And we just take a pause. We'll be spending a couple of minutes in each pose. Try and stay upright through the spine. Use your core, just a little switch on through that belly button to support the shape. Perhaps retaining the eyes to close, settle into the pose. You want to feel like the space between the right ear and the right shoulder is just expanding with every inhale. And tension and tightness is just sliding out the neck. Couple more breaths before we reach halfway. Perhaps notice if your right ear could get a little bit heavier towards that right shoulder. Can it drop a little closer? If you would like to, a nice option for the final minute is to bring your left hand and just let it rest on top of the side of the head. So you're not forcing or actively pressing down. Just the simple act of placing your hand on the side of the head introduces a little extra weight to increase the stretch. Really gentle. Coming through the last few breaths on this side. Releasing the right hand, start to gently roll your chin through to your chest and just sweep it side to side. A few little semicircles with the head to release the stretch. The next time your left ear moves over your left shoulder, just leave it there. And we come to the second side, letting the right hand stretch as far away from the body as feels comfortable, relaxing through the shoulders, just supporting with the core once again. These shapes are really nice if ever you've got quite a lot of tension or tightness across the neck and shoulders. Maybe you spend a lot of time sat at a desk looking at a computer. Maybe your work or your daily life is a little bit stressful at the minute, and that's kind of creating a physical tension in the body. This video is going to be a really nice one to revisit whenever you need it. Couple of breaths and we enter our second minute. That's just a handful of breaths. As we did before, see if you can just drop your head a little bit deeper. Can your left ear get a smidge closer to the shoulder, or perhaps introducing that extra weight by resting softly the left hand on the outside of the head. Finishing this pose with a few more breaths. Lovely start. Release and go back to a little roll ear to ear through chin to chest. Just taking your time, slow little semicircles. Coming back into the middle, taking your time, let's just ease our way up to standing. So from your seated position, maybe coming through a little downward facing dog, stretching out the legs from being seated for that period of time. Little wiggle of the legs, bend and stretch in the knees. And then when you're ready, just walk your feet to your hands. The next shape we're going to take is just dangling over the legs. So we've done the sides of the neck, and I just want to move into the back of the neck. So bringing the feet a comfortable distance apart. You could even have them nice and wide, shoulder distance or more, depending on how the legs feel. To bring the focus back into the neck and shoulders, just relax your tummy to your thighs. And you can either just kind of drop your hands to the floor and really release the head so it flops completely, almost as though you're trying to pour water out the crown of your head. Or from here, you could cradle opposite elbow. Maybe have a little shake of the head to begin with. And then once you're ready, just settle. So this will certainly be a stretch for the back of the legs, but really just focus on dropping and relaxing the shoulders and through the head as well. You want to feel as though any stress and tightness, any worries, anything that does not serve you at the moment, use this pose as an opportunity to just let all of that roll off your back. Physically, emotionally, energetically, let it drop with gravity from your shoulders, from your head into the ground. One more minute. for the final 40 seconds or so. If you would like to perhaps add in an interlace of the fingers behind your back, just reaching the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, lengthen the elbows, and just reach the arms away. And this will just tap into the shoulder girdle. It'll give you perhaps a bit more space to really tuck the chin to the chest and drop through the back of the neck. Keep relaxing the shoulder girdle. Let's go one more inhale. Let go of the fingers. Let the hands drop to the floor. Slow motion, deep bend through the knees. Just rise to stand up. Find Tadasana, just stacking the bones as you curl all the way up. Let's have a little wiggle. Release the feet. And then however is most easy, we're going to come back to tabletop. So just dropping back to the legs, bring the hands to the floor and release the knees. Moving a little more into the shoulders now, keeping the knees, the hips over the knees. Have the knees a comfortable distance apart. We're going to move into a single arm puppy pose. So send your left arm forwards. Bend the right arm so the hand is underneath the forehead and just start to lower your chest and your head down. And you want your forehead to land on your right hand. Feel your heart melt towards the ground, breathing space into your left armpit. Bottom stays nice and high to the sky. An option here, if you would like it, perhaps if you're a little more flexy through the upper back, is to use a brick or perhaps even a cushion under the left forearm. This will give a little more space for your heart to drop, creating a little extra into the left shoulder. Keep breathing, try not to fidget, just hold the shape nice and easy. Nearly there. Well done. Taking your time, rise up. Come back onto the hands. Just sit back, the hips to the heels. Or maybe just go for a little shoulder shrug or circle the arms just to release. And we'll do that on the second side. So coming back to tabletop, hips over knees. Right arm stretches forwards, bend the left hand across, bringing the forehead to rest down on the left hand, relaxing through the right arm and shoulder. Again, option to find a little more space, perhaps using a brick or a cushion under the left arm to raise it slightly off the ground, encouraging a little more drop of the heart and space into the armpit. Try not to resist the shape, just holding on to muscles that require you to maintain the pose. Everything else relaxes. Doing really well, everybody. Just a final few breaths. When you're ready, slowly press the ground away. Lift back up, maybe lose any props off to one side, sit back on the heels and go for another little shrug and roll of the shoulders. So one last release for the neck and the shoulders is going to be a supine twist. So come to your bottom, send the legs to the top of the mat and we'll meet lying down. Although predominantly working the spine, the very end of your twist finishes with the head. So that gives us a nice little rotation to release any final tension or tightness. Bring the knees into the chest, opening the arms out wide as your space allows. If you would like to, have a little bend into the knees, into the elbows even. With the bend into the knees, send the knees over to the left-hand side. And you want to turn your head to the right-hand side. So you're looking at your right hand. Try and melt the shoulders to the ground. If you need to, you could always place a couple of cushions under your knees if you feel like your right shoulder is quite far away from the floor. Closing the eyes or softening the gaze. Let's just enjoy a minute here on each side. Keep relaxing and melting through that right shoulder. Couple of breaths more on this side. Leaving the arms as they are. Bring your head back to the middle. Pull your belly button to the spine as you slowly lift up through the knees and gently roll the knees over to the other side, over to the right. Now focusing on letting the left shoulder drop to the floor. If you need extra support, swap the cushions so they are underneath the knees. And turn the head now to face the left-hand side, to face your left hand. We complete the twist with the head. Shoulders melt into the ground. Maybe soften the gaze once more or close the eyes. And we enjoy just one last minute here. Keep a soft breath, just another 30 seconds. Feel like everything is just dropping into the ground. Really make sure you're relaxed through the shoulders and the neck. Perhaps even soften your jaw. Doing really well. Take one more breath in to finish. Taking your time, knees come back to the chest, head returns to the middle. Keep the knees at the chest as you wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a hug, maybe tuck your forehead up towards your knees. Breathe in. And as you exhale, open to lie down. And this is where we'll finish. Just relaxing the body down on the floor, enjoying a final moment here to yourself. staying as you are, just lying nice and comfortably on the floor. Enjoy a deep breath in, a nice sigh out the mouth. Take this time to notice how you now feel, and thank yourself for the time and the energy you've given to your practice. Finishing, close with Namaste. Thank you for joining this video, guys. Please feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you need. I'll keep them coming, these videos. I hope you subscribed if you haven't already. I'm trying to be committed to my channel, and I would love to grow the community that I have here on YouTube. So please feel free to spread the word. If you need me, get in touch. Otherwise, guys, until the next video, see you soon.